What's going on, guys? So, I'd like to go ahead and cover something I ran across on TikTok the other day, and I didn't get around to, which I thought was actually beyond hilarious. Now, when you hear bootlegs, fakes, knockoffs, pretty much anything that you can get for a cheap dollar, probably the first thing that comes to mind is going to be China. And I would have to agree with you. The two top things that I ever think about when it comes to knockoffs is like Jordans and Pokemon. But what doesn't come to mind would be pandas. Literally the one animal that they have to lease to the rest of the world, they cannot lease to themselves. Now, I hate to say it, pandas are one of the most worthless animals in the world. While, yeah, they look good, they look cute, and they're adorable, they're also idiots. At least the ones that are in captivity seem like to be the dumbest animals. There's a whole debate going on up in the air right now whether or not it's true that pandas pretty much are worthless in the wild. I've heard counter arguments saying they actually aren't, that they don't act anything like what they do in, captivity. But, I'm not a zoologist, so I'm not going to be able to speak on that. But it doesn't take a zoologist to realize when somebody's painting another animal to look exactly like a panda. And worst thing is, they don't look exactly like a panda. Sorry. So those are chows. At least that's what it looks like. Chows usually have dark tongues, and if you don't know what a chow is, they're super, super aggressive animals. I owned a chow, and my parents. We had chows when I was a kid, and they are super aggressive towards like anybody that's not their direct owner. To explain this the best way I can without sounding stupid, consider it like imprinting, essentially. If you are the owner or whatever, they're going to be very loyal to you. But I had one that was super aggressive with food and ripped out. It's hard to see it very much. There's a little scar on my knuckle. It's hard to see. But it ripped open the whole bit of skin right there. That dog is not around anymore, but she was super mean. And the reason why I say this is that dark tongue, the dark mouth, that's what a chow looks like. And they basically painted small chow. Not even like mutts. They literally full-blooded because of how dark their tongue is. This has got to be so egregiously stupid. And it's sad to say, they do this stuff all the time. It's not even the first. Now, I'm going to show you something else. I'm not saying they said this happened, but reliably, a person I know said it was going on. I tried to explain to him how impossible it was. But it's a clip. It's been a little while since it's been out. I just thought this would be kind of cool to show in with China faking things, would be how some things get misconstrued. But it's been a little while, but this was at least around a year ago when I was shown the video. Was apparently China harnessing the power of the sun with a rocket, and they were going to shoot it into space. Now, I don't know if you know this, but power of the sun inside our atmosphere is just fire, lots and lots of fire. Now, given the sun is not just technically fire, there's a lot of other things to it. But the fact that this guy thought they had the power of the sun portable on top of that, going into the sky, not destroying everything around it, was just beyond funny. If anything, this was developing a Spider-Man 2 villain at this point. The clip is real, but it's not the sun. Now, from what a lot of people were saying, it's just a rocket. Just a basic rocket, out of focus, can't see anything but the flame. There was other clips which are hilariously faked. That's why I tried to explain to him, and he didn't listen. This coworker is also, I have to say, doesn't have a high IQ. He goes off of anything on Facebook. All of it's real to him, no matter what it is. If it's Facebook, it's got to be real. So that's my point, is that this type of stuff gets strewn everywhere and people believe it pretty quickly. And I have to say, I myself have failed and believed something pretty quick before. It made its rounds recently, which was Korean propaganda. And it was a fake propaganda video that was done, I don't know, many years ago. And actually, while editing that, I noticed Mimudahar was actually doing a video on propaganda. And I found out He says it in there that it was fake, and I actually fell for it. I thought it was real. I even put it in the when I was editing it. I put it in the description, which I don't do a lot of descriptions, but I did say, yeah, I fell for this. I thought it was real. But that's a couple things I just thought was kind of interesting. Two opposites of the same thing. One's actually them faking it, and one that could potentially be faked, because there was a whole ordeal going on where they were, there was people going back and forth saying, oh, they found the power of the sun, but they didn't. And that video in particular is apparently just a regular rocket taking off. But yeah, that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.